Well, good afternoon and welcome to my noontime reflection this Wednesday at 12 noon in sunny Greystones. I hope wherever you are the weather is good. If you're in Ireland, it's bound to be good because the weather's been fantastic for the last number of days. Absolutely amazing. Temperatures have reached new highs, certainly up north. It reached 31.5 degrees Celsius, which is the biggest temperature it's had ever. And in the Republic, new records have been threatened all the time, but certainly in the 30s degrees Celsius, which is very hot for us, fair-skinned people like us. But the wonderful thing is people love the sun, and in somewhere like Greystones and all the coast down here, the beaches have been packed. You can see there's quite a few people in the sea at the moment, quite a few people on the beach at the moment, all enjoying themselves. And we've done that as well, done a little bit of paddling. We've got our grandson Ruben here at the moment, and he's come and we took him down to British Bay to try down there, but he loves throwing stones just here in the cove and at the harbour in Greystones. So it's been absolutely amazing. We all love the sun. Of course, the downside to that is that there's no rain, and the state has had a fraction of its rainfall over the last number of weeks, a fraction. In fact, in different places there's been an absolute drought at the end of May, beginning of June, an absolute drought. You know, and well, who wants it to rain? If you were to ask a number of people down that beach, would you like it to rain this afternoon? They would probably say no, they would not want it to rain, and because we love the sun, and yet rain is important. Do you know, there's an absolute drought and there's leakages in the pipes, because that always comes at times of like 50% of the water through our pipes leaks away, which seems an incredible amount, doesn't it? But and yet water is so important. I've got my own water here because it's important to be hydrated. And water is so important. Do you know, I think this whole time is a kind of spiritual picture, a picture of our nation, of our world and where we are. In many ways, our nation has never been more blessed. We live longer than we ever did before. Poverty is not what it once was. So many good things. Our health is better. Our wealth is greater. Our education is more advanced. Lots of amazing, amazing things have happened. So in many ways, we are so rich, and yet spiritually, we have such poverty. I think you can see that all over certainly over the West, in the places of affluence. You know, it's a bit like a sunny day. As I say, when we ask those people, would you like it to rain? We kind of reject the rain. And in a way we reject God. And yet both are essential, for both are life-giving. There can be no life without the water water of life. There can be no life without God, the creator of all this beauty, who gives us the sun, who gives us the rain, who gives us a splendor. It is just amazing. But in so many ways we've rejected that. I think there is a real spiritual poverty. You can see that in the world. A kind of rejection, either directly or passively, a rejection of God. And that is not a good thing. That is not a healthy thing, of course. And we need to pray for our nation and for our nations. If you're a Christian listening to this today, you need to pray that there will not be a spiritual drought, but that people will be thirsty for God. Because Jesus said anyone who is thirsty can come to him and he will refresh them. But it can also happen in a personal sense. Can't it, that we go through seasons of dryness, seasons of drought. We just almost wither up and die. And why is that? Well, there's two words I want you to think about today. Two words I want to leave you. The first one is reflect, and the other one is reconnect. Reflect on why you feel like you do, why you feel distant from God. Why is that? What is it you're doing that isolates you, that separates you from him? Or what is it that you fail to do that you would normally do to stay in touch with him? And also reflect on what is the greatest need in your life. He is. You know, the disciples in that first century church, you read about it in Acts, when there was times of great persecution, their greatest need wasn't for circumstances to change, but was for the Holy Spirit to refresh them and empower them anew. And that is what they prayed. They prayed that the Holy Spirit would fill them anew and empower them anew, and He did. That's a great prayer that you and I can pray. Holy Spirit, refresh me again, fill me again, because we're just like those pipes under the ground. We leak all the time. And so we need to be rejuvenated and replenished. And Jesus said, if you're thirsty, call me, ask me, and I will give you waters of life. And if we want the Holy Spirit to fill us up, we simply need to ask, Holy Spirit, refill us, refresh us, and He will. So to reflect on what we're lacking and why we've been separated from God, but also to reconnect with God. Jesus said, I'm the vine and you are the branches. We need to stay connected to Him. Unless we stay connected, we'll wither up and die. We will not bear fruit. In church recently, we've been thinking about the fruit of the Spirit, which is an awfully important thing. But in order to produce that fruit, in order to have that life of the Spirit in our lives, we need to stay connected. Remember, Jesus is the vine. We are the branches. We stay connected. And suddenly those times of drought and dryness will be refreshed as we go back to Him. As we simply pray, Lord, I'm thirsty for you. I am like that deer panting for streams of water in the wilderness. I want you to come and refresh me, and He will. I'm going to leave you with some words from Jeremiah, which is lovely words. Jeremiah 17, verses 7 to 8. And these are words for you. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in Him. They'll be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when the heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit. Jeremiah 17, look it up, verses 7 to 8. Whenever we stay connected to Him, we're like that tree. We don't need to be frightened when the heat comes because our roots are deep, and you will produce fruit that will never end. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me for this noontime reflection on this beautiful sunny day. I might go for a dip or a paddle or just go home for lunch. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Until I see you again, be blessed.